Yeah, hello everybody. Welcome to another art stream. I hope you're all doing fine. I hope everything is all right. I'm very good. I'm feeling powerful. I have a lot of energy, and I think we will continue with this surreal painting that we started, I think, 2 streams ago. And we will continue, just making sure that everything is working. I think the music is a tad loud. Let me push that down a bit. I think that should be better. Yeah. Okay. Now, I added one more thing since we ended the last stream, and that was the tree here in the foreground. As you can see, I think we managed to give the piece a bit more depth by adding this foreground element, and I think we did an okay job with this. And now I'm basically in the detailing phase again, and yeah, let's just start and see where we are going. Okay, I think first and foremost I don't want to go on that foreground layer. I did kind of select a few elements here, and I think I will continue with this. I do need the perspective grid for this. Let's switch that around. And then I think I want to do something with the clouds to have a bit of a nicer separation here, and after that I will continue to detail out this, I guess, floating city or something like that. First, let's experiment a bit with the clouds here. I think I need to switch off the perspective grid for this. And Panda Puffkin, hey there! Sorry, I didn't. I have my mobile phone is the second screen for my chat, and I kind of deactivated the chat by accident there. So nice to have you here on stream. I hope you're doing good. Like I said, I'm full of energy. I'm really looking forward to detail this painting out. And what I want to do now is I want to accentuate the contrast here between the floating city a bit more. This is why I'm using a lot of bright colors, and to make things easier, it's always easier to mask it out first and then add the clouds and the lighter elements. Otherwise it's not easy to get the lines right. I think that is roughly in perspective. That looks good. Let's switch that off again then. So Panda Puffkin, what have you been up to? Have you done any art lately? I'm very sorry that I kinda didn't stream for, I think, a week now. At least not art. It was because I was actually sick at those days. But now I'm feeling better. Actually, I felt the most sick on my birthday. It was a bit of a weird thing. It always sucks to have your birthday and not be able to do anything. Okay. Let's see, what are we gonna do here? I think this is a bit too dark. Let me get another oil brush here. And Panda Puffkin says, yep, did some more portraits of my favorite guy, Danny Gonzalez, and got a pretty good response on Reddit. Oh, that's always nice if you get positive feedback there. I think especially with like popular characters and fan art and stuff like that, there's really a target audience, and if you do something they like, they go crazy. That's very nice. I was doing some studies of spiral landscapes, like the game with the dragon. I actually haven't played that. Might be something to do. That is that retro already? I think it's retro. I think that was console only, wasn't it? Might be why I haven't played it. And again here with all of the detailing I do here, I want to take extra care not to overdo it and turn it into a regular sci-fi piece. I do want to maintain the surrealist look, and especially when detailing out, it isn't always the easiest thing. Then again, I do want to incorporate perspective, like even though it is pretty crazy here. It's nice to have everything following perspective. It's from the mid-90s. Yeah, then it is retro for sure. But I recently did a remake, and that was really well done. Unfortunately, I think it's console only. Yeah, that might be the case why I haven't played it. It sounds pretty nice. I think there is a very vibrant speedrunning community for that game, and I do like to follow. Where is it now saving? Okay. I do follow some speedrunners, and especially I like to watch the speedrun history stuff that guys like Summoning Salt do. even if I don't know the game themselves, that's for me very relaxing YouTube content. I guess let's zoom in quite a bit and try to detail out this mountain here. I don't want the lines to follow the perspective. I kind of do that on my own. I think it's important to keep the oil painted feeling of the piece. This is why I'm using a lot of texture brushes. I do think I want to get crisp lines here though. I think this should be crisp. Let's see if we can follow the perspective here a bit more. Then we can reintroduce some irregularities. We do want to be careful with the light here. The funny thing is, when I'm doing like these bit more surrealist pieces, I guess they are my abstract work, I tend to not fully abandon the realism, naturalism, whatever you call that. So I generally do want to have my subject be in perspective and following shading and stuff like that. I don't want to be too literal with everything. I do like those little variations here on the rock. I don't know about you. And again, for those new here, I don't know if there are many, but if you want to have a chat with me about basically anything, what are you up to? What is your artistic background? If you want to know anything from me, my workflow, my art, feel free to post in the chat and I try to answer as best as I can. And again, even if you have like your own work and want to show that to others, we can do that too. Do I want to have a bit of a lighter separation here? I do think I want to have that. Not sure about this though. Yeah, it should be a lot lighter. Let's zoom in a bit. Look out for these lines. I do want to follow perspective. And I think this should be a lot darker, right? Right. I have to be aware of contrast creep. But I don't think it's that bad yet. Let's zoom in again. I do think I want to switch to an oil brush here. So I'm just detailing away here. It's actually not that hard at this stage. I just need to make sure that I'm not over detailing something, that I still keep the overall flow of the image. And yeah, I think this is one of the focal points of the image, so I think I should spend a bit more time detailing this. And yeah, I think overall it kind of works already. Doesn't need a lot. Let's zoom in. And I'm constantly switching between the zoomed in version and the zoomed out version. I do that because your eye kind of gets lost into the zoomed in version and you only work on that area and you kind of disregard everything that is happening in the image. So it makes a lot of sense to switch between those two perspectives. And for color, I'm basically just color picking what is already here. I don't need to reintroduce new colors for the most part. Sometimes I do that. especially when I want to introduce some variations in the shadows or the highlights. Like, I mean, you could argue we could do that here a little bit, but then I'm a bit afraid of contrast creep. Like, we can try to get the darker tones a bit more blue. Accidentally moved the whole image there. Like, like so, maybe just on a few spots. I do want to introduce that here too. Let's zoom out. Is everything working? I think yes. And I really like this brush I'm using right now. This is the Feng Zhu brush, like I like to call it. And you get a really nice texture here with this. Like, let me show you. Like, this is the brush, and it really works nice for landscape stuff and stuff in perspective in general. So after we did the rock, what do we do next? Either the tree in the foreground or this floating city kind of thing in the background? Something like that. I do need to have a little bit more of a hard edge. So let's grab this oil brush. Does that work? Not fully. I think this has to be lighter then. Yeah, sometimes I do that. I pick a color, like this one here, and I do want to have it a bit more in light. And then I gravitate towards a more saturated tone, but also lighter. I'm not going straight up, and I'm also not going straight to the saturation, but do that like at an angle. To be honest, it's a bit much. I think we need to tone that down. the top, I think I want to have the lightest tone, as the sun would usually strike there in the highest intensity. And like I said, it's a bit much. I'm gonna tone that down with the chop brush. Something like that. I do want to pay extra attention now to light and shadow, and also not to overdo it with either of those. I do think we could lighten up the stacker part of it. Okay, that doesn't look that bad. And yeah, I want to lighten up this area. Again, to emphasize the plane change that is happening here. And again, if you're new, I want to make sure you can ask all the questions you want to ask. I try my very best to answer them regarding technique or progress and stuff like that. And even if I'm using terms like plane changes, I do explain those concepts, but I don't want to repeat myself over and over again. So I mean I could, but just just if it's useful, if you know. Yeah. So if you want to know more about this, feel free to ask. Okay. In case you're wondering why I leave the grid on, it helps me visualize the perspective a bit more. And sometimes I want my lines to follow the grid, which is a nice feature of Clip Studio Paint that I tend to use a lot. But sometimes I just want to have that as a reference and then be able to paint my own lines without following perspective, but I'm still adhering to the main concept. I think we could lighten this up a tad more. And when you go in and lighten up things or darken things down, you do want to be as subtle as possible, because you can iterate that on various steps and it will look better each time. If you just go for like a pure white, as you can see, this doesn't really work all that well, and you can't go lighter as pure light. It's usually a good idea to take that into steps. I think we can tone that down a little bit. Let's see if we can use a bit of texture here. You tend to use the sharp brush from the default Photoshop a lot. And this works very, very nice. It has a nice flow to it. But specifically for this painting, I do think the oil brush lines get a bit lost, so I have to be aware of that and be a bit more careful. I need to darken this down a bit more. And I think we can also use the same concept and darken down the shadows here a bit more into blue territory. So I need the sharp brush for this though. It's too dark. I think this might be okay. And zoom out to make sure we're not doing anything bad to the overall image. Let me see. Something isn't working. I think I just accidentally pressed the wrong key. Wait a moment. Yeah, okay, now it's working again. Sorry about that. I think that is, yeah, okay. I don't think I want to merge down this layer yet. So I have to be a bit careful on how I'm handling this now. I do think let's get to another area first, and then we can come back to this and detail this a bit more. And let's see, for example, this area. I think here I want to have pretty sharp edges. And for the light and shadow, I think this should be in light. Might be a tad too light though. So darken that down. I think that looks nicer. Let's step back. I do think I need the other chop brush. And go back to the regular chop brush. A lot of chop brushes here. And I want to lighten this up a bit more. Let's zoom in. Stick to the grid. And I do think I also want to have some textures in here, so let's go back to the oil brushes. Let's have a sharp edge here. What I'm doing now is basically just pushing and pulling different values basically to get exactly the shape and the transitions that I would like to have. And as you can probably guess, I have no idea how this will turn out exactly. I'm just freestyling everything and working over it again and again until we have something that looks okay, that looks usable. And it doesn't matter if you are doing a more realistic piece or more surreal or abstract piece in a sense. You basically want to leave certain areas a bit more open to interpretation. I think you can see, even though I'm detailing out this, yeah, pretty much, yeah, but I do leave out certain areas to be not fully rendered. And usually that adds to the atmosphere. You can kind of compare that to a movie. Think of a movie that you really enjoyed. Some movie where you think, oh man, this is one of the best movies ever. Usually this movie won't be that literal. It won't explain like, okay, this is the baddie and you can be sure that he is, and these are the good guys, and let me quickly recap everything for you that even a 5-year-old is able to understand. Usually a lot of the good movies don't do that. They leave some space open. It's not clear who's the murderer in the murder mystery. It's not clear if the intentions of the bad guy are that malicious. And it's the same with paintings. You don't want to have everything explained. You want to leave a lot to the imagination of the viewer, because as you might know, nothing is more genius than your own imagination. The like the murder will always be more horrible, aggressive, whatever in your imagination than if you are really showing it. I do think we want to lighten up this area here a bit more. This is pretty light already. Okay, that is way too dark. And here we have a bit of a tension going on. I do want to get rid of this. me see if I can just cut this out. Yeah, I think this has a bit of a nicer silhouette. I mean, I do need to overpaint some parts here, as it looks now a bit weird in the shape, but the contrast is better. Oh, painted on the wrong layer there. Put that a bit more in the background. And then I did want to get rid of this tangent here, right? I think I need to lighten this up a bit, introduce a bit more contrast. Oh no, I painted on the wrong layer, it happened again. Okay, I think so. Maybe we can merge that down then. I'm not too sure. Rather leave it like that for the moment. One nice trick if you want to have everything look very epic is to just use 3-point perspective. As you can see, all of the vertical lines have a bit of a tilt to it, except the one in the middle. And this makes everything look like very huge. The effect would be even stronger if I would go for a semi-realistic fantasy rendering. I'm implying a lot of the stuff here, but if I would do that, I would push, for example, this a lot more in the background, like that, for example, and build up contrast until we are here at almost full black. And we did that already, but yeah, if we just be a bit more realistic with those tonal variations, we can have an even stronger effect. But here I'm going for a bit more of a surreal style, so this is totally okay and what we are going for. I do think we need to lighten up some of the shadow tones here as this recedes to the background. And again, we want to accentuate those plane changes. And I do want this to be a bit more pronounced as well. Oh, this looks nice. I do think we could lighten up the plane change here a bit as well. Just make sure not to overdo it. Let's get rid of the perspective grid for once and see if we did something bad to the image. I don't think we did. I do think I want to push down this element a bit more, and I do that by slightly introducing sky color. It's saving recovery information, okay. And I do want to get rid of that, right? Do a soft eraser. And the sharp brush again. I think we could actually lighten up the tree a little bit. I mean, this will be a bit of an experiment, so bear with me if it doesn't work. Gonna duplicate it. We want a correction layer. Sorry, where is that? Adjustment layer, I think. No, it's a correction layer. And we do want to adjust the levels a bit. Okay, that's to the wrong side. I do think there needs to be another adjustment layer. We might pump up the saturation a little bit. I do think that adds a bit to the image. So we're gonna merge those layers down and quick comparison. I do think this one is a bit nicer. Yeah, let's leave it like that. And I do want to get rid a bit of those badly photo-bashed artifacts. I do want to introduce, I mean, we already introduced a bit of texture.
Hello texture.
Okay.
I said hello texture.
Texture. Hello texture. Okay. think for the most part that looks okay-ish. Let's merge that down. I can't do anything with the layer. We do have a problem here, as you can see. This is way too dark. We need to lighten this up quite a bit. I think that does the trick. And sometimes, even when I'm detailing stuff, I like to work fully zoomed out, because that way I can kind of uniform everything together a bit more, and especially if you are doing a lot of detail work, sometimes the uniformity of the image gets lost, and it's always a good idea to constantly check, because if you're like me, you have to work for your composition, and you just don't get it like automatically. What I usually do is I first start out with thumbnails, and we did the exact same thing with this image. I can show you the thumbnails if you want. And we picked one image that we liked. In this case it was Theros, because this was a kind of commission-y thing. When you are here on my channel, you get the Sealy points, and with enough Sealy points you can basically get me to draw you a specific landscape. And this is exactly what Theros did. And he picked this image from, I can show you, from a couple of other ones. Wait a moment. To get the right image. Surreal farms. I think these are the ones. So as you can see, we already have the composition laid down here. It's oh sorry about that. It's I wanted to zoom in to show you, but guess that doesn't work. Okay, never mind. I think also a couple of other ones. This wasn't my favorite, actually. I think 5 also I don't want to pursue, because it looked a lot like fantasy imagery, and I want to stay away a bit with this. I want to make it more surreal. But I think 1 and 1, 2, and 8 I think I liked a lot. But yeah, Theros went for 6, and here we are. So if you have constantly to fight to keep your composition, every time you do changes and introduce more details and stuff like that, you are messing with the composition basically. And if you do that too much, your composition gets a bit muddied, and sometimes even destroyed. This is why I like to work zoomed out quite a bit, even if I'm doing detailing work. Do you think we need to add it here a bit more? I do, especially I don't like that this is only green here. So what we can do is change the blend mode to color and add a bit of color variations here and there. A bit more blue. Add a bit orange to the mix and reddish tones. I think that's too much, but yeah, we can always dial this back. Let me see which okay. Which tool did we use? I didn't remember. Sorry about that. The thing is, with these color variations, I think we went a bit overboard. So what I usually then do is select the chalk brush and paint with the main color of the object I'm currently working on at a very low opacity, and I do that by controlling the weight, the pen pressure of my wacom pen. You scared me. I was startled.
You got an Amazon package.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, no, I got.
And again, little comment to the way I'm doing detailing work. When you are in the position of doing detailing to your paintings, then you want to constantly keep an eye on the hardness of your edges. I say that to remind myself that not everything has to be sharp. I tend to really over sharpen the image. This is a bit my style, so I think for a certain amount it's okay, but I constantly need to remind myself that I can also have softer edges, and this looks cool too. So yeah, be aware of the over sharpening effect. Don't do what I do. Let's get rid of those little rocks. I think here they work okay, but they created a weird tangent. I don't think that was a good idea. I think the one here is okay. Yeah, I think one is okay. And also one thing that I think I missed here was that I want to incorporate as much of the color information as possible from one place to the image to the other. It is you want color variation, sure, but you also want to make the image uniform by using the same color over and over again in different parts of the image. And I haven't really done that. And another thing I tend to really stress is that if you're doing all of those little thumbnail exercises, you can get them done in basically no time. Like the thumbnails that you saw in the first way, I think these here. I did all of those, and these are like 9 images, right? And I did them in about, I think, 1 hour and a half. I think that wasn't even 2 hours because I had a little bit of a break during the stream. And yeah, basically, as soon as you have those, you kind of solve the main issue of the image. Everything I do now is smooth sailing. This isn't really anything complicated. Complicated thing is doing the thumbnails and coming up with something that looks nice and works. Let's see if we can detail out those elements a bit more. I'm going for an oilish brush here. Yeah, something like that. A lot of texture. And if we want to have the perspective grid, so that I can follow it a bit better than just freestyling it. This is too much. Do something like that. Switch back to the orange brush. Let's zoom out, and we do notice that these are a bit too dark, but we can fix that. And do you think we want to have a bit of a crisper edge here? And we're constantly following perspective. We're following that to make sure that everything looks nice and tidy. I think I want to highlight this color a bit more. So, and again, I hope you don't get tired of this, but constantly new people are coming in. So if you have any questions regarding technique, regarding myself, basically anything, feel free to ask. I do my very best to answer you. And also, if you are an artist yourself, feel free to share your work. I like to give you a shout out, promote your work. Maybe even, I think I'm not a best artist in the world, as you can see. I don't consider myself to be very good, but I can give you some tips, especially when it comes to environmental art. So if you would like that as well, I can help you with that. If not, it's fine too. And let's see, I talked about the sharp edges, and I think I want to get rid of some of them. So what I can do is grab the Painterly blender and blend certain areas together. I think especially here in this part I want this to be rather uniform. This should be a bit more blended. Let's get the Feng Zhu brush. Can add a bit of detail here. I do think we need to blend a bit more. Get the chalk brush again. And we do want to emphasize these blue areas a bit more. Need to increase the tonal value there a bit more. And we can blend that. Kibaya, nice to have you here on stream, and you're now in luck. That's totally okay. And you need to get some groceries, no problem. No problem at all. So I know a lot of people are just here to lurk a bit, and like I said, I do that in a lot of art streams myself. I just have somebody in the background and give me a few insights, and then I work on my own art. And a lot of people do that, and that's totally fine. So, and even if you're not working on your own artwork, if you're just here to like, hear me talk a bit, I really appreciate that. No need to use the chat. I just mention that all the time for new people that are coming in, that they are encouraged to ask if they have anything they want to ask me. But as I say, no need for that. Let's get rid of the lid once more. No, that's way too bright. I do want to go to another layer and set that to color and really try to get some color variations here. I think all of this is way too green. I think we need to address this. Okay, by adding even more green. Okay, no, this doesn't work. I will tone this down, don't worry. I mean, it looks now very oversaturated. And then we can scale down opacity of everything. Yeah, I mean, we have a bit of variation here. And now I can continue this with the colors that are here. And I think we do need to accentuate the perspective a bit more. I Let's grab a few colors from the other parts of the image. Try to uniform this a bit more. Let's do one thing. I haven't saved in a long time, so let's save. And I do need to look at the original image where we started and where we are now. If we did something that is not beneficial to the image, please don't crash. Please don't. No. Gave me a heart attack there. Yeah, it always does that. It's just Clip Studio Paint being Clip Studio Paint, but actually it kind of didn't really crash on me until now, so keep my fingers crossed. This will continue. Oh, we did want to check the other image, right? So I think that would be that one. It takes a long time to load now. Oh, did it? No, it didn't. Oh my. Let's get rid of those. And need to fully see the image. I do think we improved some parts. Yeah. I think for the most part we didn't do something super wrong. I need to lighten this a bit more, and I want to have the grid again. I think I need a Feng Shui brush here. I'm not too happy with the tops there. They look a bit artificial. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, we can't have the light elements here. Need to darken them down. So, and again, a quick shout out to everybody who's new here on the channel. Again, if you want to ask me anything, artistic or otherwise, feel free to ask. I try my very best to answer your questions. I generally ramble a bit away about technique and stuff like that. But if you have any specific questions, yeah, feel free to ask. I always enjoy to have a bit of a conversation. But again, if you're just here to lurk, that's totally fine too, so don't feel obliged to do anything. But yeah, just a quick reminder. Okay, what are we going to focus on next? Don't think I should do a lot of this area, as I think this already looks pretty cool. I think we just have to focus on the foreground elements now. What do you think? Let's get the grid again. Did you think we could use the Fengsu brush? For the most part, it looks okay. Do we want to push back those elements a little bit? I'm not really sure. You can try. Get the soft round brush and just push it slightly back. And I think that is rather nice. I'm going to get an oil brush. Let's darken down this area here. I do like the little purplish tint on the shadow color. And let's see if we can blend a bit more. I like the Painterly blender a lot more. Texture blender is also nice, but I do think that we need to accentuate this a bit more. And push it back at the same time. It's a constant game of pushing and pulling again. This time with the blender I did want to unify the colors a bit more, and after we did that I can come in with a sharper edged brush and then define the structure a bit more. Let's get a fine zoom brush. Add some texture here. I'm gonna blend this a bit. Also want to emphasize the shadow area here quite a bit more. So now let's blend. And add back a bit of the high contrasts. Do you think we want to push that back a bit, right? Gaming Hamster, nice to have you here on the stream. I hope you're doing fine. I certainly am full of energy, but like I said in the Discord, I think with all the yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to say now. I don't think I will do another retro stream today, as there will be another retro stream tomorrow from 18 to 9, and then we have the big event with Kellerabend where we all play pen and paper RPG. And we did have a quite long stream yesterday too, so I do think I want to spend some time with my girlfriend. I hope that's that's okay. So that I'm not all of the time streaming during the vacation. I think that's understandable. I didn't want to cut on the art though, because last week I couldn't stream because I was sick, as you know. Yeah, obviously it's okay, yeah. I haven't expected anything else. I think we did a pretty nice job with this one. I don't know about you, but I think we succeeded in doing a bit of a surreal landscape that really is in my style. I want to further perspective here, just to a bit of those little skyward lines. I mean, if this would be a regular fantasy painting, I think I would tone down those lines quite a bit, so it's nice to have them. But here, I think I can just leave them here. Okay, the only thing now missing is this foreground element with the tree. I do think I need to address this and do a couple of adjustments there. I think with the rest of the image I'm pretty happy. And I don't think we will do this on this stream. I think on Sunday is my regular art stream, and then I might finish this one. And if we still have time and I'm prepared, then we can switch to Blender and I will do some 3D work. I'm not sure which one we're going to do. We had a couple of streams ago a nice image of a steampunk train, and I prepared a model of that already for the train. But we need to do the landscape and the bridge and everything. So either way we do that, or we start a completely new image. I'm not sure. I did want to incorporate a bit of the purplish tones here as well. They might be a tad bit strong. I can always tone down. just a bit. Okay. So yeah, it's about 2 hours now. That is always the signal for me. Don't like that. I think this is much better. So this is always the signal for me to wrap up the stream. And you can look for somebody to raid. I do have a couple of areas here where I'm really not that happy. I guess let's try to address those while I can see them. Okay. Okay, I save now. That's it. I hope you had a nice time. I hope you enjoyed this little art stream. And if you are here for the retro content, don't be afraid. Tomorrow, like I said, from 18 to 21, I will stream art as well. I will stream retro, and after that we are all invited to go to Kellerabend and play a bit of DSR, a bit of pen and paper role-playing game. So yeah, that's it. I'm gonna save. And if you have somebody that I should rate, now's the time to state that. Otherwise, I just look for somebody artsy that is on, who's on. And Juana Mir Levy is on, as you can see. So I think let's go to him, right? Let's do that. He's a much better artist than I am, but it's okay. He's very good. Okay, let's rate him. Thank you all for staying with me. To the Retro Crowd, ich sehe euch alle morgen. Ja, viel Spaß. Greetings to YouTube and goodbye. Have a nice day. We are rating now. 3, 2, 1, and go!